This is how you win leagues. This clock of greatness right here is how you win leagues. We've got two offenses that are electric. We've got values all over the board. Some players go a little higher than others. Bijan goes in the first round. London goes in the 1-2 turn, typically the top of two. But this is a eclectic group of monsters that can have you winning your league in 2025, your leagues in 2025 by collecting and stacking in best ball. And stacking is not the best thing to do. It's not good or bad on the surface level in a non-best ball, but it can be a detriment if it's done on an offense that doesn't deliver week in and week out. But this group of individuals right here, these are league winners. And the Falcons are going to be a top 5 to 10 offense this year. Wide range of outcomes, but most likely going to be in the 5 to 10 range. Could be 6, could be 5, could be 7. Penix Jr. could be a surprise top 6 quarterback. He could be number 9. The quarterbacks in that 5 to 10 range can sometimes be within 20 points of each other. But this could be one of those quarterbacks that we walk out of 2025 and we say, how did the world grossly undervalue the cannon that is on this man's shoulder? This ability that he has to be a 5,000-yard passer if he wants to. Someday, maybe this year we call it 4,500 yards. Someday can be a consistent 38 to 40-plus touchdown passer. Let's give him 35-plus this year. This wide receiver right here, who could arguably be the number 1 wide receiver in fantasy football, let's put him at number 5 right now to not get ahead of our skis. This tight end that costs almost nothing, that everybody gives up on until they remember, if they're reminded right, that he costs you almost nothing. You might want to believe this man when he says that this man's going to catch the ball a lot in 2025. Give him one more try. At a 0 cost of entry, you better give Pitts one more try. Kelsey dropped 20 LBs. I'm indifferent on him. You can cuff him to gray if you're in a best ball. Worthy, top 2 wide receiver in the league last year. If you take his last 5 played games, 3 playoff games, even one which was bad, a bad playoff game, but all 3 of them with his last 2 played games divided by 5, multiply it by 17, that equals what would be wide receiver 2 in fantasy. And Rice, yeah, he's going to suffer a suspension. And everyone's going to say, oh, he's going to crumble back down to what he was last year. This offense is going to do the same thing in weeks 1 through 4. If he gets suspended 5 games or 6 games, it's over, Smitty. He's back to where he was. Smitty, you doubling down on Mahomes again? You bet your bottom dollar I am. Because he's got weapons. He's got a top 10 pass catching room if Rice never returned. And if Rice returns, his top 4 or 5 locked in and loaded. The Fantasy Football Show. Falcons and Chiefs winning league show, graveyard show, draft edition. We'll be drafting on Underdog. Promo code Smitty. That link is being dropped in the live chat. It should be pinned already, but here it is, fresh and handy. Click that link and inserts code Smitty for you. It's a $10 minimum, and they'll double your 50% match your first deposit all the way up to $1,000, but the minimum's only 10. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you go watch this show that we just did right before this one. That show, this show, the draft show, the Pitts in London and Penix and Mahomes and KC and Falcon show begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Let me show you something. This is Drake London mossing his own defense. This is Penix Jr. throwing a missile, an absolute cannon shot downfield. Let's look at Drake one more time, mossing his own defense. And then one more time on the missile. One more time on the missile. Look at the cannon. Talk about a moon ball. That's a Mars ball. We don't have moon balls. Moon balls are garbage. Russell Wilson throws moon balls. We throw Mars balls, baby. Saturn balls in this mug. Jupiter balls. That's what we're doing. We don't not mess around with moon balls. Are you kidding me? Mars balls is where it's at. That's the ticket.
Too much.
Penix Jr. is so good. You remember back on draft day when the guy went top 10 and we said he'd go top 10? You remember all the haters that would come into the live stream and say, Smitty, Penix Jr. won't even be a first rounder. Smitty, Penix Jr. won't even go in the first round. He's not even a first round grade. What do you think? You think you know more than the NFL scouts? You think you know more than the GMs and teams that say he's not worth going in round 1? Why would I do what I do? If I wasn't such an arrogant prick that I thought I knew more than most all the teams, GMs, and scouts, what good would I be to you? Even if I'm wrong sometimes, I am. But what good would I be to you if I came in here and go, I barely know anything, and I don't think I know more than the teams. Let me help you. We told everyone Penix Jr. was him. And I got a couple commenters, one of you probably know who you are, in my comments going, Smitty, I like your content. I really do. I'm a big fan. But when you come in here and you guys toot your own horn and you make it a We Told You show, it's just, I don't like it. Well, I've got news for you. We told you. Whether you like it or not, that's how we do it.
Let him cook.
Mr. London, what seems to be the problem? I've been a little off. Can't seem to get things going, if you know what I mean.
I think I have just the thing for you, Mr. London.
Look, there are two types of people in this world, too. Those that believe in things like penicillin and those that don't. You're either taking it or you're not. And there's really nothing else I can do or say to convince somebody that this man is a top 6 to 10 quarterback. Remember, and we love Scott Hansen. He came on the show. Comes on every year. I have him scheduled to come on here in August. Hopefully I hear back from him soon. And when he came on the show and I said that he's going to take over Kirk Cousins' job and be a top 10 quarterback. And he sat back in his chair and he goes, not this year. And I go, yeah, this year. And he goes, no, not this. He goes, Smitty, if Penix Jr. takes over, he doesn't even have to be a top 10 quarterback all year, but it's got to be more than one game. It's got to be, progressively, in our face, over and over, at least a month or whatever. I will come back on the show, emergency style, around Christmas to talk about it. And then I said, and you mentioned the fantasy football show on the Red Zone. If Penix Jr. is dropping top 10 quarterback numbers, and you remember that we told you. And Scott, and again, I love Scott. Scott, this is not aggressive. Scott's a friend of the show. And he nodded on that. He didn't say I will mention, but he's like, so anyway, Penix Jr., they don't pull the plug on Kirk Cousins. And it's so frustrating as we watch because we know better. We know that Kirk Cousins, 0 TDs in 4 straight games. They still leave him in. He goes into his 5th game, scores 1 touchdown only, and then they pull the plug. We were so close to Scott Hansen giving this show the props that it deserves on the Red Zone. As Penix was throwing missiles, we were just a little bit late because of the late rug pull by this staff in Atlanta, who made the right call by bringing in Penix Jr. Obviously, they're smart, but to sit on the Kirk Cousins money, that was the detriment. That was the negative and the crutch of this offense and staff last year as they waited too long trying to hope that the money could work. And that's why when you look at Dak Prescott making as much money as he's making, and then you got Milton behind him, it's going to be a difficult situation when it happens. And it probably will. Same thing with Shedeur. You draft Shedeur after you draft Dylan Gabriel, and now you have a problem. This is why the Browns were dumb to do what they did. This is why every team, all 31 teams, other 31 teams, crapped the bed massively. You know what might happen, and there's rumors about this and that, not to go on a tangent real quick and then come back, but Shedeur to the Rams is something that gets kicked around a little bit. And if something does happen with Stafford, I do wonder if the Browns are dumb enough to say, yeah, let's go ahead and just, we like Gabriel. We drafted him ahead of Shedeur. What a smart move. What a great move doing that. Putting yourself in a position where you're like the Kirk Cousins money, making you make a decision you shouldn't be making because what? Of money? Because of money? Way to go. How about draft capital? Same thing. Draft capital. The draft capital, but we took Gabriel earlier. That's why you don't do that. Gabriel's not a good quarterback anyway. But they've been more impressed with Gabriel for much of the offseason. Now it's shifting a little bit because Shedeur went out there and balled out and proved everyone wrong yet again. So I'm hoping the Browns are just unaware of what they have. They're such a Mickey Mouse organization. The fan base is amazing. Love my Browns fans. You guys are always welcome here. You want to call and vent. You want to vent my chat about how the Browns keep screwing up your team, the fans' teams, the dog pound. You guys deserve better. But hopefully the Browns keep doing Browns things and they trade Shedeur over to the Rams, or let's say something happened. I don't even want to say it, to the blonde-haired lion. and then Liam calls up and says, "Hey, my boy Travis Hunter would love to play with Shedeur. How can we make this happen?" I don't know. You want ETN? Like what can we give you? What can the Jaguars do for you? Back on point here. Penix Jr. is a marvel. Penix Jr. is somebody that this show called, and no one else can claim what we can claim. And you can, the 3 or 4 people in my comments earlier were like, stop talking about how you guys always get stuff right. It's so off-putting. Go watch somebody else. I'm not here to push Excel sheets, Eric. I'm not here. This is a hype show. This is a hype show. This is a talking head show. This is a stat show. But this is a gut instinct show. And this is an entertainment show. It's all those things at once. You want something else? Go get something else. Is this too loud in your cubicle? You can't put it on the speaker? Put in a headphone, bro. All right. Smitty likes victory laps. We take victory laps a lot and expect it. All off season long, all in season long. You don't like it, you're watching the wrong show. What's Penix Jr. going to do this year? 4,500. 34 to 35 plus TDs. 1 to 3 rushing scores as well. How much of this is going to the Drake? How much is going to the Drake? I think the Drake, as we're now going to refer to him, decided right now, is because it sounds cool. The Drake is going to get probably, let's go to the Drake's profile, because I'll show you a little something if you're a Drake doubter. You doubting Drake doubter. Top 5 in red zone targets last year. That's right. Top 5 in target rate. That's right. Air yards. That's right. Top 5. Pace with Penix Jr. in the 3 played games, 221 targets. You heard me. 125 receptions, 1995, and 11 tutties. This guy isn't getting 100 receptions. I don't know that he gets 125, but he certainly could get 110, 115. Let's put it at 111. Let's put the 1271 at, instead of 1995, we'll be realistic. We'll call it 1450. Don't like that number? I don't care. Take it up with the Drake. Take it up with the Drake if you got a problem with it. 1,400 yards off of 111 touchdowns. 9 last year, right? Let's give him, and he was pacing at 11. Let's give him 13 tutties. Ladies and gentlemen, dare I say that the Drake might just be the most undervalued top 5 wide receiver in fantasy football 2025. Dare I say that you're drafting at the 11, 12, or even the 10. You should be considering the Drake and not Amon-Ra St. Brown, not Puka Nacua, not even for redraft purposes. You're going to... Some of you guys don't understand the difference about what I haven't even said it yet because I'm prefacing this thing. I'm setting it up. Just so you know, Neighbors is my number 1 wide receiver per start and my number 1 dynasty wide receiver, but he's dealing with something that might take him out in double-digit weeks. Dare I say that the Drake is safer than everybody at the wide receiver position but Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb. Dare I say that the Drake deserves to be in the 9, 10, 11, 12 spots drafted as your number 3 projected wide receiver. Let people take JJ. Let people take Neighbors. BTJ's up here as well. BTJ's right with the Drake. BTJ was 4 last year. But the Drake's top 5. And dare I say one of the craftiest second-round picks you could come across.
Let him cook.
Drake to the moon. Drake to the moon. 11, 111, 1,400, 13 tutties. Deal with it. Don't like it? Don't care. You don't have to like it. You just have to sit back and enjoy. Kyle Pitts. What do we say for Kyle Pitts? Let's ask Kruger, the Krugmeister, what's going on with Kyle. Hey, Kruger, how many yards, receptions, and touchdowns did Kyle Pitts have in 2024?
All right, Smitty, keeping it quick and snappy. Kyle Pitts put up 602 yards on 47 receptions with 4 touchdowns in 2024. If you need anything else on that front.
Can anybody confirm that that's correct? Because I don't even know anymore with him. I really don't. Is that correct? That seems low, but that seems also right. Somebody confirm if that's right. If we're talking about this man getting an injection in value, I'm going to say 65. This is Kyle Pitts. Let me move this circle on Kyle. Kyle Pitts. We're going to say 65 receptions for Kyle Pitts. So Pitts right here, in case anybody's wondering. Is anybody confirmed that that's the right number? 65, 602. So 65, 895, and 8 touchdowns. That's correct. Okay, thank you. What would this rank, by the way, in tight end scoring from last year? Let's take a little gander. So that's going to be for the touchdowns. We're going to give them 8, right? So eight touchdowns, 48 plus the 65 plus the 89.5. That is 202.5. 202.5. Looking at scoring from last year, let me pull up the Marsman League, which we'll be drafting very, very soon. Just know that. Available league leaders, season stats, 2024. Tight end number, let's see, what did I say? 202. These numbers will put him right at 5. Is that right? Yeah, I mean, maybe this is half No, this is full PPR. We'll put it at this will put him at 6 to 7 tight end value. If he had 8 TDs, 895, and 65 receptions. Roughly, we'll even call this 6 to 8. just depending on your scoring. 6 to 8 tight end value. I'm not saying he's guaranteed for this, but he does feel very, very likely to hit these numbers with Penix Jr. throwing him the ball. It's a whole different ballgame. When you really think about it and you try and peel back the layers of this onion that is Kyle Pitts, he hasn't really had a quarterback. Like, we've been judging him over and over and over for disappointing, but he hasn't really had a quarterback. Now, Brock Bowers hasn't either, so there's reason to say it doesn't matter. But maybe this guy just needs the quarterback. Some players can be elite with a good quarterback. Some people can't. And we just got to chalk this up to this man believes him, so I believe in him. And if this man, Penix Jr., believes that he can be a 800, 900-yard receiver with 7 to 8 touchdowns, 60 receptions, I do too. 100%. We move on over to, let's stay with the Falcons right now, and then we'll switch over to the Chiefs. Bijan Robinson last year was an absolute marvel. And when you look at Bijan Robinson's stats, I hate calling him Bijan, by the way. It does not sound right. And it is what it is. 304, this is Bijan. I feel like it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare having to say his name now. 304 attempts, 1456, 14 TDs, 61 receptions, 431, and 1 TD. So 15 total touchdowns. If I had to come in strong with a Bijan Robinson projection, and this is how many yards per carry is 4.79. I'm going to say he gets 5 yards per carry, maybe 4.9. Let's call it 4.9. So 4.9 yards per carry. Let's give him 325 times 4.9 yards per carry. That is 1592. Rushing leader right here. 1592. Touchdowns, give me 15 rushing touchdowns. So one more from last year. Give me 70 receptions for 510 and 3 TDs receiving. That is my projection for the man known as Bijan Robinson. That is, if you add the yards together, 2102 total yards. 2,000 total yard player, 2102 total yards. That is insane, and I believe that it's very possible. 1592, even if we round this down to 1,500 and 500, this is your running back 1 overall, and it's not really that close. Bijan Robinson wins leagues. Bijan Robinson should be the number 1 overall pick in fantasy football 2025. Plain and simple. Even in point PPR. Full PPR, number 1. Why? He catches 70 footballs. Who cares? Why would you say, oh, grab a wide receiver when you can grab a wide receiver right here? I mean, these are flex stats right here alone. I mean, what do you want? What more do you want from the guy? This could be 600 yards too. This could be 4 TDs. 70, 600, and 4. Unreal. Bijan taking people to the promised land.
Hi, my name is Bijan Robinson. I like long walks on the beach. And, well, I also like scoring
super chats, I'm going to answer in order in which you received. Just give me 1 second. Let's get through this. For those that don't know, Mooney's hopeful to be back at some point in 2025, which means that Darnell Mooney is probably out for at least 4 to 6 to 8 weeks. It sounds like the way that they're talking about it. So we'll see if Amari Cooper gets a call. We'll see what happens. But Kyle Pitts, that's why another reason why Kyle Pitts is going to step up is because Darnell Mooney might not be there for a majority of the year. If we go over to so thank you to the Drake, thank you to Kyle Pitts, thank you to Michael Penix Jr., thank you to Bijan Robinson for your participation in today's exercise. Let's go over to Patty Mahomes, who scored as QB 10 last year. Oh, what a bad year for him. That's his worst year ever. He's trash. He can't even, I guess he's still top 10 every year. But yet last year was an anomaly. Last year, he didn't have his receivers. Last year, he had 39-28, 26 TDs, 14 INTs, and running the ball, he had 307-2. So 307-2. Let me make something abundantly clear. Do you remember when I told you that Xavier Worthy was wide receiver 2 during the last 5 played games by the Kansas City Chiefs? Not cherry picking. I'm talking about the 3 playoff games stacked on top of the 2 regular season games played by Xavier Worthy. 3 playoff games, 2 regular season games. Those 5 games extrapolated out gives you a point total that would be, even with the bad game, the first playoff game he barely did anything, that gives you wide receiver 2 numbers. Can anybody guess what Mahomes ranked in that same 5 game span? Quarterback 2. If you take Mahomes' 3 playoff games and his 2 last played regular season games, and you extrapolate those 5 games exactly stacked on each other, there's no cherry picking. Those are QB 2 numbers. That is quarterback number 2. He returned to form. People won't tell you he returned to form. You know what people will tell you? He finished as QB 10. He did. But does anybody mention that he finished the season returning to QB 2 value for 5 straight games without Rashee Rice, which he probably won't have him for a string of games at the beginning of the year. But he was already back to QB 2 numbers for 5 straight games, closing the year out with momentum. Then you add in Brashard Smith, the man right here. You add in a healthy, I'm back and looking strong Isaiah Pacheco, and if he fails and gets hurt, Brashard Smith goes to the motherfreaking moon. Worthy, as mentioned and alluded to in the final 5 games, turned into an all-star player. Rashee Rice will be back in 2 to 6 weeks. Jalen Royals looks like a camp superstar right now. Jalen Royals looks like a camp superstar. Can you imagine what this team looks like? 20 LBs dropped. We'll see how that works. Can you imagine what this team looks like once Rice is back? If this man's QB2 in the final 5 played games extrapolated out, it doesn't matter if Rice comes back. He's already balling out. When Mahomes gets Rice back, it's game over. And you can continue to get on your train about, last year you said that. Doesn't matter what happened last year. Remember when is the most boring form of conversation. I don't care about remember when. I care about what is in front of me. I'm getting in the DeLorean and I'm going to the future. You're getting in the DeLorean. You're going back to 1985. That's the difference between you and me. If you're hating right now, the hater on the Mahomes, and he's not going to be good, Smitty. Mahomes is airing it out. Mahomes said, we're getting back to throwing the ball. What did they do in the preseason game? Mahomes was 1 for 1. Only threw 1 pass or 1 completion. Do you know what it was? It was a touchdown. 1 for 1 touchdown. Do you know how far that touchdown was? 1 yard. On the 1 yard line, 1st and goal from the 1. They could have run the ball 3 times. They're not running the ball as much this year. They're throwing it. So what do they need to practice? Throwing the ball. What good would it be to practice running on the 1 yard line if your intention is to change and mix things up and throw? Why not take the practice shot in the end zone? Mahomes, 1 for 1 touchdown strike. And if anybody thinks Royals won't fill in very nicely and remain really relevant in fantasy, by the way, but fill in really nicely for Rashee Rice, I feel bad for you. I feel bad for you. Look, this is a guy that's going to rebound in a way that I think people are just going to unfortunately have to learn the lesson the hard way. Get your popcorn ready. Mahomes is not dropping 39, 28, 26 TDs and 307 for 2 rushing. Mahomes is throwing for probably 4,800 yards. And don't act like that is a wild number. Mahomes has thrown for 5,000 before. You want to dumb this down just a little bit? Let's put 4,600 yards. Let's keep it tame. And 26 TDs. This is going to likely be a 40 touchdown season. But let's just throw 35 on here so that the worried Williams don't feel too scared right now. 307, I think 300 yards and 3 TDs seems in order. And I think when we're talking about interceptions, we're probably, in the 11 range. So 35 TDs, 4,600 yards, 300 rushing, 3 TDs additional. This is a 38 total touchdown player, bare minimum. Bare minimum. Kelsey's probably getting you around, last year he had, let's go over to Kelsey's line and take a look at it. Kelsey was, in 2024, 97 receptions. We'll put it right here. This is Kelsey. 97 for 823. Still a good year when you really think about it, and the 3 TDs. My prediction is this. He lost weight. If Kelsey, let's say, dips to 85 receptions or 82 receptions, and let's say this number goes to 800, they'll be more efficient. So I think that's possible. This number still gets to like 8 to 10. Whatever drop off he may have potentially in a snap count situation where he's older, they want to keep him healthy for the playoffs. Even if this went down to like, let's say 75, and let's just call this like 740. Let's just say that happened. He's still going to go in whenever they're around the end zone, the goal line. And so this 8 to 10 TDs with this lower number, this is what Mark Andrews gets you. Top 5 tight end, top 6 tight end. Even when the yards are down, he's still getting fed mother freaking touchdowns. So Kelsey's still a top 5 tight end this year. At least top 5 to 7. You know what I'm saying? 4 to 7, really. I'd probably put him 4 to 7. And when we're talking about Worthy was a phenom last year that got going as the season progressed. So Worthy's 2024 looked a little something like this, or exactly like this. 59 receptions for 638 and 6 touchdowns. And then rushing the ball, he had 104 yards and 3 touchdowns. 9 TDs on the 638 receiving year, which is why you need to understand something and look into my glasses when I tell you this. Like Travis Hunter, Worthy and Travis Hunter are they're like twinsies. Worthy is Hunter, Hunter is Worthy, Finkel is Einhorn, Einhorn is Finkel. This situation right here, Xavier Worthy, he's a weapon. Travis Hunter is a weapon. This 3 touchdowns rushing is light work for a Worthy in full motion. For a Worthy that is an unbelievable polished player that is coming into his own. Worthy running the ball and Travis Hunter as well. And Travis Hunter could do this right away. I think Worthy took some time. Travis Hunter is a specimen. 220 yards rushing. And I'd even say this could be 240. And this could be Travis Hunter as well. 240 and 3 to 4 rushing touchdowns in 2025 for Xavier Worthy, also for Travis Hunter. These are weapons. These are players that not only will Reed and the Chiefs dedicate many, many different plays and variants of plays for Worthy at and around the goal line. It's first down and 4 on the 4-yard line. First down and 4 on the 4-yard line, on the 5-yard line. Worthy. The best option's not even to run the ball. It's the little screen to Worthy. A little wide back action to Worthy. A little out route to Worthy, untouched. A little hook and just let this man knife straight in to the inside. He's an unbelievable weapon that is slippery, can go untouched in that scenario. Literally catch the ball and no one's going to touch him and he's going to walk into the end zone. End around, jet sweep, whatever the case may be. Worthy sleepwalks into 3 to 4 TDs. Let's just give him 4. Let's give him the damn respect he deserves. 4 touchdowns running. He did 3 last year. Why can't he do 4 this year? He's more polished. 240, 4 TDs. This reception total is going to be 70. He's not Rice. He's not getting 100. And he's getting a lot of shots that might not connect downfield, but when he connects big. This is going to be, maybe it's a 1,010, a 10-10, and 8 touchdown receiving season. 70, 10-10, 8 touchdowns. And let's just, so people don't get nervous, let's put this back to 3, and let's put this back to 200 even, just to make sure everyone's feeling real comfortable. 203, 70, 10-10, and 8. What does that rank? Let's find out. So he has 11 total touchdowns, plus 20 for the yardage, plus 70 for the PPR, plus 101 for the yards, the receiving yards. That's going to equal 257. What wide receiver is 257? That ranks number 8 in the fantasy football realm. This is wide receiver 8 if he doesn't go crazy. This is wide receiver 8 when Rashee Rice will score more points per start than Worthy. Worthy's doing all this damage. This is wide receiver 8. You're either on board or you're not. Pacheco, I don't know what to expect because he probably plays really good and then gets injured and then Brashard Smith comes in. Can't really project what Brashard Smith's going to do because we don't know how many games he's going to play. All I know is Brashard Smith is probably one of the better running backs this team has had since they've had Kareem Hunt and some of the bigger name guys, obviously Larry Johnson and Holmes. But I'm saying since Kareem Hunt, they've kind of been lost to the position. I think they finally got their guy. This is what they wanted, this is what they wanted their running back to position to be, a pass catcher. This is a converted wide receiver to running back, and he successfully converted. Was a 1,000-yard running back in college, 10-plus touchdowns on the ground in college. He successfully converted. He's not like some learning the position still. He's a successful convert. And Smith exploded. And this is a guy that, McKinnon is a player that we always loved the profile. McKinnon in a KC offense, catching footballs, being that potential top 5 running back any given week, but he didn't do it consistently. We always wanted Jerick McKinnon to be that guy. This is Jerick McKinnon, but the consistent version that eventually takes over. And as for Rashee Rice, you could say what you want about him. What I have in store for Rice looks a little something like this, and then we're going to go to the super chats and then open the phone lines. Rice, to me, we're going to say he misses. Let's just say he misses the 4 games. And as some of you think 6 to 8, this is not to the letter of the law of the policy. He doesn't even require a suspension, just so you know. I know a lot of people are telling you different things, but the policy does not require on a 3rd degree felony to have a suspension when it's not repeated. There's no alcohol proven to be involved. So let's say he misses 4 games. Let's actually go ahead and take his stats and let's look at last year's numbers, and I think we can actually probably extrapolate last year straight in and just use that. I think that works because he's looking to form. Coming off of injury doesn't even concern me. He doesn't even look like there's any sort of setback or loss of speed. He's out there dominating. He's out there freaking dominating. In fact, I think I have a video of him as well that I wanted to put up. This is Rashee Rice dominating. Do you understand what I'm saying when I say dominating? I'm saying this. I'm saying that he looks poised. He looks quick. Let me see if I can. He looks poised. He looks quick. He looks like an agile giraffe out there. Just what is going on with this thing? You know what I hate about when you're on Twitter and you're showing something, and then it just, after you play it one time, it scrolls down to some random video. Okay, here it is. Let me screenshot this. That way I can control what I can control. Here we go. So we got Rashee Rice doing his thing. This should play on repeat here. Okay, here he goes. Just dominating, stopping, using explosion. What I love to see, and you might say, oh, just catching it with his buddy playing catch in the backyard. I love how he uses his spatial awareness. I love how he uses his body to pit the player away from the ball so that it's either an incompletion or it's a reception. He's so good at his spatial awareness. And this might be the number one wide receiver in the league in receptions per start. And we know he can't do a top 5 wide receiver season missing 4 games. But let's say it's 4 games. Let me write that back up here. 4 games. Let me pull up his game log from last year. Jail time, 5-year probation. You serious, Super Soda? Are you kidding me? We know that, Super Soda. I'm not mad at you, but okay. Maybe somebody asked you that question. I don't know. Okay. 24 receptions for 288 yards and 2 TDs last year in his let's see. He got injured how far into the game? The very beginning. So this is on 3 games. So on 3 games, he had 288, 2 touchdowns, not a single reception or anything to count for that game that he got injured right away. So 2 100-yard games. Just if anybody wants to, this is on 3 played games. 3 played. And if we extrapolate this data out, so 288 divided by 3 is 96 yards per game. 24 receptions divided by 3 is 8. So 8 receptions, 96 yards a game, and 2 touchdowns in 3 games. So that's 0.66. So 0.66 touchdowns, 0.667. So let's add this all up. So 8 times 17 is 136. Jeez. 96 yards per game. That's almost JJ level. Times 17 is 1632. Jeez. And 0.667 times 17 is 11.3 TDs. So that is what this man was on pace for. And yeah, you could say, oh, 3-game sample, big deal, Smitty. But we already know how good he was. We already know, dating back to to the year prior, when he was a marvel and he came on strong. And at the end of the year, during his first year, from week 12 on, it was 107 and a touch, 64 yards, 72 and a touch, 91 yards and a touch, 57 and 127. And for you smart Alex out there that are going to say, Smitty, these are dumb stats. You can't use 3 games to extrapolate. Let's take his week 12 on from last year. Let's extrapolate those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games. Is 6 games straight games. His last 6 games is rookie year. Can we extrapolate that data? Because that's not cherry picking at all. So let's go ahead and do that. From week 12, 107 plus 64 plus 72 plus 91 plus 57 plus 127 equals 518. 518 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games is 86 yards. So 86 yards per game. He has 1, 2, 3 TDs. 3 TDs divided by 6 is 0.5. So 0.5 TDs. And then his receptions were unbelievable. 5 plus 6 plus 9 plus 7 plus 8 plus 8. That is 43 divided by 6 is 7.6 times 17, which would be 121. So 7.6. So 121. So this is his number here, extrapolating that. If we were to extrapolate his last 6 games, his rookie year, we're getting 121 receptions for 86 yards times 17 is 1462. And then what do we say? We said 0.5 TDs times 17 is 8.5. So what I just did was give you 2 ways to look at Rashee Rice's projections. 2 ways. This is all for Rice. 2 ways. I didn't just cherry pick the last 3 games that he played because then he got hurt. I did that and we got this number right here. I went ahead and went back to his rookie year and took his last 6 games played. No cherry picking, all 6 of them. And I got this number right here. Something tells me he could easily get in between because as a rookie, he wasn't as versed. So let's say it's 125, 1,500 yards, and 10 touchdowns. Are you accepting that? Is that would everybody agree that's an acceptable extrapolation for him? 115 receptions for 1,500 yards. And again, we're going to subtract we have to account for that he's not actually going to get 1,500 yards because he's going to miss 4 games. And then 10 TDs. So at the end of the day, you take these numbers, divided by 17, multiply it back by whatever amount of games he plays, and you're going to get that, he's probably still getting 1,000 yards off of a 4 missed game season, but he's going to have a lot less receptions and less touchdowns and probably, be somewhere along the lines of, he's not getting 8 games, bro. I know you want him to, Soda Pop, but he's not getting 8 games. Soda Pop's against him because Soda Pop hasn't been able to draft him at all. Soda Pop, come on. I love you, pal, but you're embarrassing yourself right now. Rice to the moon. Super chats will be answered in order in which they were received right now. Appreciate every single one of you. Racing Boy, you still here? I'm sorry I should have celebrated the $20 hauler right away. I'm sorry, that's on me.
Alert. Super chat alert.
To Jupiter.
Imagine being so against somebody that you hear, no offense, Soda Pop, but you hear other people tell you that he's getting 6 to 8 games when his suspension isn't even required to the letter of the policy. It's not. I'm not saying that the optics aren't bad enough for them to do something, but if you think he's getting substantially more than Addison, who had alcohol involved, I got another thing to tell you, bro. It's not going to happen. 10-man PPR, running back star, Saquon, Kyron, Gibbs, Pacheco, Mason. You still here, Racing Boy? I appreciate you, my boy. I appreciate you. Racing, where you at? Saquon, Kyron, Gibbs, Pacheco, Mason, Rice, Ray Davis. Wide receivers are Evans, Rice, McMillan, Igbuka. Love this team. So my question is, do I move Barkley and something for CD and Chase Brown? Absolutely. For sure. Mason, Pacheco. Honestly, if this is redraft, if you needed to move Tet McMillan, I'm definitely moving Tet McMillan. You understand? That's how important this move is. Chase Brown and CD for Barkley and Tet. I would even do that, but I would try not to. Don't move Igbuka. I would try to keep Tet. I would try to give him Mason. I would try to give him Pacheco. But you might be a little tough. But because it's RB, or because it's wide receiver RB for an RB, you might need to throw the wide receiver his way. I just don't want you throwing Igbuka. Yeah, delusional. Well, don't be so hard on yourself, Soda Pop. I mean, some people, they just I get it. You watch something and you get brainwashed by it, and then you get delusional with it. But it's fine. We forgive you. Appreciate you. Okay, thank you for the $20 hauler, Racing Boy to the mother freaking Mars.
To Mars.
Racing, you here? Where's Racing Boy at? I hope he didn't leave. He dropped a $20 hauler and I let it sit there while I was ranting. I'm sorry. I promise you I'm going to do a better job of addressing the super chats while I'm ranting this year. I promise you. Just give me some leeway as I get used to, getting back into the super chat mode and hitting this stuff while I'm talking. Smitty, long time no fee. Ready for the season. Thank you, Jaden. Appreciate you for dropping that super chat, my man. 10 team got Bijan. Would you draft London in the second round? I would not let Bijan Robinson affect me drafting London if he's the best player available. So the answer is don't worry about it if he's the best player. London is great, but why him over Puka and others? For the reasons I just explained, Box. I just went over the projections. Puka's playing in a system where he's second fiddle in terms of touchdown targets. It's like look at this real quickly. Let me show you. You're asking me a question, and I'm not trying to be a smart aleck back to you. But see this 9 right here? How many games did Drake London play last year? The answer is a season, right? How many games has Puka Nacua played on his entire career? The answer is 28 games. How many touchdowns does Puka Nacua have his entire career? 9 touchdowns. Drake London eclipsed his career total in one bad season where he had no good quarterback until the end of the year. And you're asking me why I like London over Puka Nacua? Not to mention Puka Nacua has to fend with Adams now in that department that he struggles so greatly in, which is touchdowns. And he's an injury waiting to happen because of his style of play. So, I mean, you hear me talk about this all the time. I appreciate your super chat. But it's a very easy case of London's a top 5 wide receiver with almost no risk, and Puka Nacua is loaded and laced with risk, my boy. Drop Roman Wilson for Royals and Dynasty. If you like winning, Jonathan, yeah. Who cares about Roman Wilson, man? Roman Wilson, I wouldn't pick up if you dropped him in any of my Dynasty leagues. I'd be like, oh, why was he on a roster? I don't care about Roman Wilson. Royals, I mean, look, is Roman Wilson on any sort of board? We're taking Royals and we're taking them to the moon. Now, maybe he doesn't play moon ball all year long, but he will at the beginning of the year, and he looks so versed. I believe he does kind of dabble in space activities throughout the entirety of the season. I really, really like Royals. He looks like a monster right now. Super chats have all been handled. Did Racing Boy ever hear my answer? I hope he did. I'm feeling a little bit like, damn it. Racing Boy, where are you? Racing Boy, speak up, my boy. A $20 hauler. I appreciate you. I hope he's in here. Racing Boy, speak up. Dial into the show.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Go watch this breaking news show that we did earlier if you want to catch up on any of the topics. The Hamptons, going to have competition, says Roman. Roman talked about that and everybody freaked out. And we told everybody. Travis, you're live. Where's Racing Boy, man? What's up, Travis? Is my speaker not working? Hold on. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and switch this over. All right, Travis, you should be able to hear me now. Everybody else on the phone line, please mute real quickly until I call upon you. Travis, you are live, young man.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Hello?
Yep. Let's go. What's up, my man?
So the Falcons, I think more people are starting to come around on them. But,
yeah.
About it. When they signed Cousins, people their offense was going to be great. Obviously, it wasn't because he bounced back from the Achilles. Good, but so now with Penix in the mix, like Penix has a higher ceiling than Cousins did at his peak, in my opinion. And there should be nothing really swaying someone away unless they're just afraid of the unknown. Because besides that, all signs are pointing to them being like an elite offense.
Yeah, I don't know how someone couldn't see how good Penix Jr. is. Like, even the way Penix Jr. commands the offense and commands the podium, commands the reporters, commands everything. He is so many light years ahead of where Caleb is, and Caleb played a whole year. And Penix Jr.'s like played 3 games, and he's talking like a 10-year veteran. And his team believes in him. He's got twice the arm as Caleb, in my opinion. Caleb's got a cannon. He does, but so did Jeff George. So did a lot of quarterbacks that, were able to throw. But Penix Jr. has touch, accuracy, a cannon, confidence, pocket presence, can stay and play inside structure. He can run. Maybe Caleb's a better runner, but not in a positive way. Caleb runs, to try and create something. That's all he can do. Caleb's like what everybody says that Fields is. That's what Caleb actually is. But yeah, Penix Jr., people are coming around, but he's amazing, bro. He's a good runner too. He's such a good runner. I love that people don't think he's going to be a good runner. I mean, in his 3 games played, he had a pylon diving TD.
And with Pitts too, like I think you said when you extrapolated his stat that you had him at number 5 last year, something like that. And I mean, like if you think about it, you could easily see him having a season like Zach Ertz did last year. He might not be the number 1 target, but he's there and he's, a safety blanket for, Ertz had 6,654 yards and 7 touchdowns. That was tight end 7. I mean, that's pretty easily achievable if he's, doing what we think he's doing.
Yeah, real quickly, let me just read this. Daniel, I don't mean to make fun of this comment, but give Penix those Bear wide receivers. Bro, I wouldn't swap you talent pools if you paid me for Penix Jr. Yeah, I like DJ Moore. Yeah, I like Adunze. Yeah, I like Luther Burden. But give me London, Bijan, and Kyle Pitts all day long. I don't think you realize how good London is. I don't think you realize how good Bijan Robinson is. These are 2 of the best catching players in the league. I think we got to be a little bit more mindful of. Let me see real quickly. I'm in a draft right now. We'll go Genty, and let's go. You know what? I'm gonna go. Let's go Genty and Achane in this particular draft. All right, we're gonna draft here in just a little bit. I've got someone on the phone line real quickly. Let me switch over to this view here. And I took Genty and Achane back to back from the 12 spot in a puppy. And we'll be jumping in a puppy together in just a few minutes after this one is done. So let me, Travis, real quick, did you have any follow-up on that?
Yeah, I don't know. I just saw someone in the chat saying Nick is a turnover machine.
Yeah, right.
We don't know that.
Yeah, some people just don't. Some people just don't know, bro. Like I don't know what to tell anybody. Turnover machine, 9 INTs, 35 passing touchdowns, 46-48. What an embarrassing thing to say. How many INTs does Penix Jr. have over his career? 9, 8, 7, 4, 4. Guy's never had a double-digit INT season. What are you talking about? Some people say anything. DJ, hold on one second. Let me merge DJ. And DJ, just mute yourself real quickly. I'll be right with you. All right, let me go over to Terry R. Biggest Genty hater known to man. Go ahead, my boy. Let's see how long you last on the phone line. Okay. That was quick. Nice work. Okay. Maybe he was on mute. I don't know. But he crapped the bed there. You imagine doubting Penix Jr.? Can you imagine saying something like Penix Jr. is a turnover machine without even having your facts straight? Who said that? Who said that?
Real fantasy football, huh?
Yeah, well.
Must know.
Oh, yeah. Turnover machine, huh? Chase, Jacobs, and McBride at the 1. No thanks on the Jacobs, but London, Nico. I'm trying to see which one of these teams I like best. I probably like the Gibbs, Bucky, Garrett Wilson team the best. That's probably my favorite. Bijan, Taylor, Higgins. No, thank you. That's the way you can punt your number 2 draft slot. JT and Higgins together there. McCaffrey, Chase Brown, Mike Evans, going with the old boys with Chase Brown. Kyron, Bowers, Barkley. I like that if Barkley stays healthy, but my concern there is Barkley. Neighbors, Brown, Jackson, Nico, London, and who's this guy going to take right here? All right, Joe Milton is better than Penix. Well, we love Joe Milton here, so you're not really like insulting me when you say that. Joe Milton's a superstar. All right, hold on. We're approaching my pick here, and we'll just go ahead and grab. We got this is a puppy 3. We've got we're kind of in a bind here because the way the board's falling. Although early quarterbacks should have opened up more. We'll go JSN here, and I don't mind that pick. God, Ted McMillan's at the 3-4 turn again. This is not where he should be going. He's literally the 3rd player. Let's go with. I'll go Jalen Hurts here. I'm going to do something different with this team because I don't like the way the board's falling, and I want to take the best player available approach here. So we're gonna see what we get on the way back. But I'm going to go with the best player. This is a good squad. It's definitely going to be potentially wide receiver starving. But I'm just going to see what we can do. This 12 spot I'm finding to be a really tough spot right now, given the guys that we like to draft. But let's see what happens. Look at Henderson going early. Is that one of our people? Might be. Look at that. I wanted to go Hendy there, but I didn't want to condone Hendy at the 4.1. Not on this live stream anyway. If I was in the middle of round 4, I would probably smash it a little early. All right, Terry R., one more try. Go ahead. You're live.
Yeah, I think I was on mute. A quick question. I have a 3rd pick, and it looks like I'm gonna get Bijan or Gibbs. It's gonna be my choices. And up until now, I was team Bijan, but something in my gut is telling me that Gibbs and Henderson win leagues this year. So what do you think about that in a full PPR?
Well, I mean, they do. All 3 of them win leagues. I mean, we've been saying that all offseason. Henderson wins leagues. Bijan wins leagues. Gibbs wins leagues. It's nothing new. You know, like, I don't think you're making a mistake any way you look at it. First of all, Henderson's not in this conversation, though. But, yeah, Henderson wins league for sure. But Gibbs or Bijan.
Yeah, I'm reaching on him early, like maybe 3rd, 4th round if I can reach.
Well,
I know it
mid-4th round,
crazy, but
mid-4th round's fine. But like you're talking about Bijan or Gibbs right now, so I'm just trying to make sure we're being clear. There's nothing wrong. Gibbs was unbelievable last year. Gibbs or Bijan, you can't tell somebody that one can't outscore the other. They're both fantastic. This draft is wild. Who drafted Hunter that early? Part of me thinks we got several people up in here. Corbin, damn you. How do you get in here? Yeah, look at that. Look at that. The Fantasy Football Show squad that Corbin drafted in the 3 spot: Gibbs, Bucky, Garrett Wilson, Rice, Hunter. It's the biggest fingerprint I've ever seen. It's like, bro, you're leaving the show fingerprints all over your team. All right, what's your other question, Terry? You can't go wrong. I go Bijan. I don't know why you.
Let's say PPR pick number 6. How would you rank these guys? CeeDee Lamb, Genty, Achane.
CeeDee Lamb, and then Genty and Achane are pretty close to tied. Like when I drafted, I drafted them back to back. I was contemplating, and I love Genty. I draft Genty all the time in round 1, no doubt about it. But I still love Bucky and Genty, Bucky and Achane and Bucky. I like that combo, that trio, just mixing it all up.
And for some reason, I feel like Achane over Jefferson, who will be there, but I got Jefferson 4th on that list.
Come on, guys.
I don't know.
Bro, come on, guys. Like, look at, I got 2 people in here from the show. Henderson, you reached on Henderson, then you took a Buka around 5. You're embarrassing everybody. You're embarrassing us. Draft smartly, man. I mean, unbelievable. Freaking Buka in the 5th round. I mean, tell everybody what you're going to do the next draft ahead of time. Now you're not going to get Igbukah. If you draft with any of these guys again in the next draft, they're going to know this guy's going to grab Igbukah because you're grabbing him around 5. Just pulling the trigger so early. My team looking good. Genty, Achane, JSN, Hurts, RJ Harvey, Debo Samuel. Not bad. Different team. I've never drafted that exact team at all. Anything close to it. I mean, I've got a lot of those guys like Achane and Genty, but that's pretty good. It's a different combo. All right, I'm sorry. Terry, what was your last question?
No, I was just saying, now Jefferson will be there as well, but I got him behind all 3 of those guys. You think that's an accurate statement?
Well,
like have Jefferson behind Achane, Genty, and Lamb?
I can't get mad at anybody for wanting to avoid Neighbors' toe or JJ's hamstring. You know, when you're talking about a guy that you could draft at the 11 or 12 or 10 overall in Achane, there's nothing wrong with that. Someone might say you shouldn't do that or whatever, but bro, don't listen to him. You got to do what you got to do. Definitely don't take Hendy in the 3rd round or anything. You said the 3rd, 4th. Take him in the 4th. Take advantage of it. Don't take Igbukah like this guy did at the 5th round. You're just ruining it for yourself. And just be careful. Be careful.
All right. Appreciate it, man. I'll be in the chat.
All right, later. DJ, you're live. Jeez, man. Reach-a-thon we got going on here. DJ, you're live.
Best show on the planet, Nick.
You what?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here. Wait a minute.
What's up?
I was saying, best show on the planet. If you guys didn't get it earlier show, I'll say this. If ESPN, those others, you come calling and they will, fight the power Smitty. Definitely go on and drop some knowledge, right? But this thing you got is the best show on the planet.
Thank you, pal.
I appreciate that. No doubt, no doubt. Penix in London, being here in Atlanta, they're putting in work, right? So much so that they're referencing 9 to 5. Get it? Dolly Parton, 9, Penix in London. So yeah, they're putting in work. Who cares if Penix goes on?
I like that. Is that something you guys are using? Is that something you guys are using locally?
What they're trying to framework here.
9 to 5.
Locally.
I like that. 9 to 5.
9 to 5.
I love that, bro.
Exactly.
We're gonna take that.
We'll
put DJ in the corner. Whatever video I create, we're gonna put DJ in the corner of the video just to give you credit. 9 to 5. I like it. Penix 9 to 5.
Yeah, make it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sir. Your resume says you want a 9 to 5 job.
Man.
I'm sorry. What?
Exactly. They're putting in work. Putting in work, man.
Okay.
Putting in work. So yeah, I like that with regard to the Penix line. Who cares if Penix goes a lot of interceptions? We're talking fantasy. He's gonna sling it. It's also gonna help Pitts. I think you're right, man. When Ryan was there in his rookie year, you know, he set a record, right? 1,000 yards, didn't have the TD. So he's capable. He might be immature, but he has talent. 47 catches.
Hold on 1 second, DJ. Hold on 1 second.
yards.
DJ, hold on 1
Yeah,
second.
go ahead.
Hold on 1 second.
I'm sorry.
That's right. I timed out and I'm not sure where I'm headed here. Hold on.
My bad.
No, that's right. Damn it! No! Well, you know what's good is I timed out on both of them, but it timed out off of my rankings. Look, it says I'm on autopilot, but it timed out off my rankings, which is good. I finally set my rankings. The reason I don't set my rankings is things change so quickly. Let me see if I can. I got to turn this auto off. Hold on. The reason I don't set my rankings because it changes so quickly. I'm too busy to go back, and then things are just, they're not even helpful. But I went ahead and set my rankings because I'm doing so many. So this autoed on 2 guys that are on my queue. So those weren't lucky timeouts. Those were my players that I have on my pre-rank rankings, and I have them extra high for this very reason. But you know, it sucks that I timed out on these, but it is what it is. All right, go ahead, DJ. As quick as you can. Go ahead.
Yeah, my bad, Smitty.
That's right.
Like, I'm not like watching. I'm just listening through my phone and whatnot.
Yeah.
So my bad.
No, you're fine.
I just, you know. So in London, in terms of round 2, in my opinion, when we're looking at round 2, London, I think, might be my last wide receiver. Before, depending upon the board, but just wide receiver in general in round 2, you might consider McConkey. You might consider that before I'm just looking at the RB, which means that I have a hard time understanding when you say reaching in terms of the running backs. Like in this draft where you're at 12, you could have grabbed, Henderson. And to me, that's not a reach.
Well, I think you just got to be careful to not, you know, he shouldn't be in the 3rd round, is all I'm saying. If you got a 3-4 turn player, I don't hate it, but you got to also try your best to let these players fall. Hendy could have fallen, you know, he could have fallen, probably wouldn't have, but Harvey fell, and they're both sometimes going around the same area. A lot of times people will draft out of fear that they're not going to get their player, and if they'll never know. If they just would have let it happen, you would have been very happy. Like in my draft that I'm doing right now in my buddy league, this is a 10-man. Smitty plays in 10-mans too. I do. In this buddy league that I have, this is the 10-man league. This is what I'm cooking up right now. I went Bijan, Bucky, and instead of going Garrett Wilson, I took Kyron, and guess who fell? Garrett Wilson still fell. And you never know if you don't, you know, let some of these values play out. You just can't reach. I know people want to get their guy, but you just got to be mindful. I think taking him at the 3-4 turn is not something that I would advise. Not yet. Let him get there. Let him get there. Yeah. All right, hold on.
Yeah,
let me draft.
I think it's just
hold on,
values
DJ. Hold on a second.
Go ahead. My bad.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Let me see here. Let's go with man, I hate this. I do not love Luther Burden situation. I love him, but I think he kind of survives. I think they really like him in Chicago. And what could happen if DJ Moore, he's getting older, he's had some mileage, he definitely could be used in many unique ways. I think he was drafted to be Ben Johnson's St. Brown. So I think this is a pretty crafty player to draft. My receiver room, considering I timed out on players that I had in my ranking queue, so I didn't necessarily want them in this order now, but it works out perfectly because I love Bully quarterback, love Ingram, and I usually draft And I drafted 3 Broncos right in a row there. So Nix, Ingram come from my queue, and then Mims. So to have JSN, Debo, Mims, and Burden, not a bad quad, wide receiver quad, considering how stacked everything else is. So Genty, Achane, JSN, Hurts, Harvey, Debo, Bo Nix, Evan Ingram, Marvin Mims, Luther Burden. I like it. All right, go ahead real quickly.
No. So I get that. Just the philosophy and how I kind of see and value the board with the running back versus running receivers. In terms of the KC Chiefs, Rice and Hollywood Brown. In terms of Rice ADP, awesome. That's a smash, I think. Depending on maybe the best one. If we're talking draft and dynasty, that's different. But for some reason, I'm still liking Hollywood Brown's ADP. But I certainly get if you're going to grab some of these rookies later, Royals makes sense. But Hollywood Brown, even in the playoffs, in terms of his target percentage, was just behind Worthy. And in the first 2 games of the season, he was the leading target getter. And he's a pro. So I was just sharing that.
All right.
That's all
right.
Hollywood Brown. Thanks.
All right, DJ. Appreciate it. Call back if you got anything else. All right, DJ to the moon. Later, bro. Okay, let's see here. Swing him back around. And let's see here. My squad still needs some receivers. Going off the ADP, I don't mind. Damn, it got real thin. You know what? I might not be going wide receiver here. Bigsby, Tootin. You guys are just a bunch of snipers, bro. Okay. The funny thing is, I didn't even announce this draft. Blue, there you go. Let's go Ray Davis, I suppose. And then I'll probably grab... Damn. I'll grab Tootin here. Not bad. I mean, I think the receivers could have been a lot better had we not fallen victim to 4 people being in here.
How come out of that group?
Good question.
Wilson, I know he's kind of still there, but talk about quite as much.
He's been quiet. Yeah.
What?
He's just been quiet. Yeah, quiet. I think if there's a little noise. Also, Darnold. People are just worried about Darnold.
Well, yeah, I was thinking about that, but if think about it, if terrible, Milroe goes in, and I know there's some unknown there. You'd think Milroe would get him plenty of targets, unless he was just bad too, which I don't think he will be. But if Darnold's playing, that means he's playing well, so he should be.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, you'd think that he. I think it just comes down to, you know what it also is just these other players. JSN's kind of that, he's not the best athlete. He's just a really good technician. And I think that, and I'm not saying he's not a good athlete, but I mean, compared to like Jamar Chase or Neighbors, those guys are like out of this world, insanely athletic, to the point where you could say, like, I don't know if there's ever been two better, more athletic receivers before physically. And JSN's always kind of been that guy that works hard. He's like Rudy Rudiger of wide receivers. Just works harder than everybody. He finds out a way to get into the top, 7 to 10, even though he kind of almost doesn't belong there in a way. And I think it it's just not one of those picks that stands out as much. So, it's kind of like trying to think of another receiver that makes a lot of sense to compare to, or even a running back. It's kind of like Goff over the years playing as, with Ben Johnson playing at the 6'7". Yeah, Chuba is the same kind of guy. He just kind of gets overlooked. But yeah, I love JSN, and I think he does deserve more respect. But I think it's because he's also been quiet. So we'll see what happens if like any sort of big play happens, and if there's any sort of noise at all, he'll bounce back up a little bit. But there's also, you just think about, like, you got JSN, you got JJ, you got Jamar Chase, you got BTJ, you got St. Brown, you have just all Lamb. All these guys are just like bigger, stronger, or faster, and so he's kind of just that do-it-all gadget player that, think of it like Jordy Nelson in a way. It's like people just kind of don't want to rank him higher for whatever reason, but he deserves it. He's like, I even felt that way when I drafted him. I'm like, I like him, but man, I kind of wanted one of these other guys. And it's like, why? You're right. I felt that. I'm like, why? Why do I feel that way? It shouldn't. He's great.
It's funny how different narratives get guys. Like, Cooper Kupp wasn't necessarily the greatest athlete. He was a great route runner. He did it well. And I know he's a good athlete, but he wasn't like Neighbors type athlete either. But he was in Los Angeles. He kind of came out of nowhere. Built his height. Like we talked about, he had one elite season and one season besides that. He struggled, and you still have people. Not so much this year. Last year. So,
yeah.
Easy.
Hold on one second, caller. Just mute yourself real quick.
Yeah, a couple super chats.
Yeah, let me answer these super chats. Then I got a caller on hold, or a couple callers on hold, I think. This one here from Eric says, rank these. Did Racing Boy ever come back? I don't know. Rank these: Mahomes, Kyler, Penix Jr., Nix, T-Law, Ward. Nix, Penix Jr., then I think it's just kind of a grab bag there. They're all very good. Kyler, Ward, T-Law, all have lots of upside, but I think Penix Jr. and Ward are Nix. And I like Ward a lot, but Penix Jr. and Nix have the chance to be like 6. They could be like top 6 QBs, and then Mahomes above all of them. So Mahomes and then Nix, then Penix Jr. or Penix Jr. Nix. I think Penix Jr. could be as good as Bo Nix. I think he really could. I think he could be QB 6-7. There's a lot of good quarterbacks. It's kind of hard to be top 6. It really is. I mean, when you do the Superflex breakdown like we did earlier, it's like you go Lamar and in no particular order, Josh Allen, Burrow, JD5, Hurts, and then Mahomes, and then you're like, that's 6. It's really hard to put like Bo Nix and Penix Jr. in that top 6, but I mean, they certainly could on occasion score with those guys and once in a while beat out one or two of them. Losing my mind right now on CD or Gibbs. I mean, you shouldn't. The decision, because they're dead even, should be, what does the second and third round look to give you with your particular group of drafters, and then make that decision from there. Because I don't think you're making a mistake either way. Basically, you give me that pick and that team, that draft, I could win it from the Lamb avenue or win it from the Gibbs avenue. I think either way you're winning. You can win your league. There's not like one's going to choose. One side that you choose is going to lead you down a road where you don't score just as many points. But if you think that you can't get Gibbs or Chase Brown or Kyron, then it makes it hard not to go Gibbs. If you think you can't get London or any receivers you like at all, then it makes it hard not to go Lamb. So, my team's good. I like it. It's different. I've got from the top. I'll scroll up and show you, and then I'll go to the phone line real quick. I've got Genti, HN, JSN, Hertz, Harvey, Debo, Nix, Ingram, Marvin Mims, Luther Burden, and I really like those receivers considering it's not the best team I've ever drafted, but this is a tough spot and we're in a snipe environment. So then after Burden, I got Ray Davis, Tootin, Horton, and Pat Bryant. So at this stage in the game, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 running backs. Don't necessarily need another. I'll take, I'm going to take Jalen Royals here. And then I'm going to take Tesla here. And then I'm going to come back around and grab potentially a backup quarterback and then a backup tight end, and I should be done. Unless I feel like I want to beef up at running back once and then go two tight ends or 2 quarterbacks. My quarterbacks are good enough to do it because I have Bo Nix and Hurts with different bye weeks. So kind of feel like, actually I only have 1 tight end. So I could go 3 tight ends and keep the 2 quarterbacks. I could maybe do that. We'll see. All right, let me get these super chats out and then the phone line real quickly. Who's the starting QB for the Raiders? That's funny. Yeah, man. Don't even get me started on that ridiculous conversation. Thoughts on Sutton and what your QB strategy is in a 10-man. QB strategy is best player available is going to open that door. There's no, hey, I do this in 10-man league. But I will say that in a 10-man league, if it falls right in the way your picks are, early quarterback can be super advantageous because, like we said last night, everybody else has so many even running back wide receiver rooms that it really can be the only edge you can get in a 10-man unless everybody goes early quarterback and way early, go against the grain, and you will have an edge at your running back wide receivers slightly. And then if you land your late quarterback, like if you get Penix Jr. and Bo Nix and they play like a top 5 guy, then you get the edge the other way. So there's no real, set way to do anything. Thoughts on Sutton? I like Sutton. He feels like a 1,000-yard, 1050, and 7 is what I'd probably say. All right, let me go to the phone line. Appreciate your super chats, everybody. Racing Boy, if you're out there, let me know. Let me go to John, and then I'll go to David after that. John, you're live.
Hey, what's up, Smitty? How you doing?
What's up, man?
I had a quick question for you. Actually, I needed like a plan of attack, if it's okay. Basically about like a quarterback. So I'm playing again with these guys, Yahoo Fantasy, Charlie, and I remember to watch Buddy goes back like by round 3. So what would be the plan of attack? Because I was really shooting to get like Joe Burrow 5 or 6, but if all those guys are scooped up,
well, they're you're just doing what I did, where everybody was taking quarterbacks in the 3rd round, and it's just way too early to take Joe Burrow and Mahomes. Like they start doing that, bro. You clean up at the non-quarterback position. Just clean up. I mean,
like say they like I said, my last guy would be like Mahomes. I don't know what to get after that.
You don't. You wait on both. This is what I just said. You wait on quarterback, and you go both.
On the 1st round?
No, he's saying like by the 3rd round they're gone. So you wait for Bo Nix, and you wait for Penix Jr. You wait for Dak Prescott, and you grab those guys. Why those guys aren't going to go early because everyone's going to be, waiting. So Bo Nix, Penix Jr., Dak, those are 3 really, really good quarterbacks to grab, and that's going to help you. Like if Bo Nix plays like a top 6 QB or Penix Jr. plays like a top 6 QB, you're cleaning up, bro. You're cleaning up.
All right. Yeah. Bo Nix, Penix, Dak. Do you think Dak's gonna do pretty good this year,
huh? I think. Let me just grab the tight end here. Hold on one second. I think Dak is gonna do good, but if he gets injured, then Milton's going to go in and not give the job back, in my opinion. But I love Dak per start, and I love Racing Boy's hero. I think Racing Boy says, "Hey, sorry, Smitty, I passed out. I just seen you were looking for me. Did you hear my answer, Racing Boy? If not, I will answer your question again right now. Just let me know. You don't have to super chat it again if you don't want to. And just let me know if you heard it or not. If not, I'll repeat it for you right now. Racing Boy to the moon. He passed out. I love it. I'm sorry it took so long to answer that. I should have. Racing Boy, from now on, $20 haulers, no matter if I'm yelling in a monologue, I'm answering them. I just need to, sometimes I need a little nudge and reminder. But anyway, what was your last question, bro?
That was pretty much it. Unless we could figure out who's the starting quarterback for the Raiders, I'll pick him.
Yeah. Who's the guy that even said that again? I'm blanking out on who it was. Who was it? Does anybody remember who that was? It was so forgetful, forgettable. Oh, was it Terry R that just called in? The Genty hater? I think it was. I think it was Terry R who just called in a minute ago. The Genty hater. It was such a forgettable.
Thanks, Smitty. Thanks.
Yeah, all right, later. It was such a forgettable experience that we're like, who was that? Thank you, John. Appreciate you. David, real quickly, you're live. Hit me with it.
I correct you. I called you last night. We did a couple drafts together. I was going to get in a draft with you, and I was waiting for the countdown. And it's been so long, I forgot my original question. But I was going to super draft. You're going to do next. Are you going to?
Okay, yeah. Let's get into one right now. We're going to go into. Everybody, head over to the Underdog app right here. Underdog promo code Smitty. I'll drop the link fresh in the live chat. It should be pinned as well. It's in the description of every video. Here it is. DJ says classic and why I watch. Yeah, I think it was Terry R who dropped that banger of a comment. And we don't even know who the Raiders quarterback is. $10 minimum. They'll match your first deposit 50% all the way up to $1,000 bucks. So code Smitty gets that done. The link that's in the description, if you're watching the replay, link in the description, the link in the live chat that's pinned, or code Smitty, and they'll get you squared away over there. So what we're going to do is everybody open up the Underdog app, click that link and do it live. And you're going to go to the Originals tab at the bottom, and then you're going to click on the Active Drafts, and then you're going to click on Lobby, or however you want to get there. And then you can click NFL, the little circles at the top, to narrow it down even further. And then you're going to scroll to the Puppy 3. Click on it, but don't click the green button yet. Just click on it. It's a 20-second draft. There's a green button that says enter. It's $5. Entrants are 225,000 entrants. There's $1 million in prizes. We're doing the 20-second draft, which is automatically toggled for you. We're going to click it in 10 seconds. Racing Boy, are you still there, Racing Boy? I'm gonna read your question as soon as I click this button. 4 seconds. We're clicking it. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Get in. Do it live. 6 more to draft. 5 more. 4 more. 2, 1. Drafting. That's how quick it feels when we get in here. Let's do this. Let me go find that draft and put it up on the screen. Then I'm Racing Boy. You still here? I'm going to read your question again. Racing Boy to the moon. I appreciate your $20 holler. All right. Where is that damn draft? Here it is. Puppy 3. And what pick did I get? 10. All right. You in the draft?
I'm in, yeah.
Okay. What pick are you?
I'm right behind you.
Okay.
I'm the 10th.
All right.
So I can't snipe you. Or maybe I can on the way back.
On the way back, yeah. Would you go Baker or wait till late and duo Mahomes and Dak? Wait. I love how the question is, and I'm not saying Baker can't outscore Mahomes, but I love how the question is, do I go Baker or do I go later and go Mahomes? Like a Dak, like, bro, Mahomes to me is a QB6, and I love Baker, but I'm drafting Mahomes over Baker all day long. So the answer would be wait for Mahomes if that's the case. But I don't mind going Baker Mahomes either, but I'd rather go late quarterback later. All right, Racing Boy, to answer your question, this is Racing Boy's $20 hauler. Running backs are Saquon, Kyron, Gibbs, Pacheco, Mason, Ray Davis. Receivers are Evans, Rice, Ted McMillan, Buka. My question is, do I move Barkley and something for like CD and Chase Brown? And I said yes, I for sure would. I would use Pacheco. I would use Jordan Mason. I would use Ray Davis. I would use, combo of those guys. And I'd try and do that first. Push comes to shove, I would throw Ted McMillan into that. Now that makes it more even, or closer to even, but not quite. And I'm still taking CD and Chase Brown. Number one, I'm drafting CD over Barkley all day long. So you give me Chase Brown for Ted McMillan, you're still crushing the deal. It becomes more even, closer to even, but it's not. It's still far away. And so I would smash the hell out of that trade. If you got to throw Ted in, you throw Ted in as quick as you need to. That's no knock on Ted, but Chase Brown is a better option, and I take CD over Barkley anyway. So it's a total home run, slam dunk smash, my boy. Just a total smash. Let's go with the good old Achane selection here. And this is a puppy 3, by the way.
11.
I really sniped my 18.
They should do. There used to be 10-second drafts. They should do those too. And that's hard, but it also allows us to do more drafts. I probably wouldn't be able to do many phone calls while I'm doing that, though. But 10-second drafts were great. Thank you, Racing Boy. And please let me know what you end up doing. And would I even throw in another player like Pacheco? Also, maybe. Because, bro, Chase Brown in your lineup with CeeDee Lamb over just Barkley, really? I like Ted McMillan. Ted shouldn't be going at the 3-4 turn. He's back at 36, 37 overall. That's just insane. It's insane. It's as insane as Ladd McConkey when he was going 13 overall. And Ladd's not going 13 anymore. And Ted McMillan wasn't going in the 3rd round anymore. But now he's slipping right back in. It's too early. It doesn't account for anything. Does Smitty have a ranking list? Yeah, go to thefantasyfootballshow.com. That link is in the description of the video, like Gino just said. Year round, 365, 24/7. Let me draft real quick. I'll go BT here. The reason I created this right here in 2002. 2002. The internet was really only around to the public for about 4 or 5 years at that point. And so I there was no trade calculator anywhere. There was nothing. And I said, I'm gonna do this myself. If there's no trade calculator, why isn't there a trade calculator? So I created that and bowl predictions, and the rest followed. But I've been doing that for over 2 decades. TheFantasyFootballShow.com. I'll even drop the link in the live chat to make it easier on you, so you don't have to leave the stream necessarily. Well, you'll click on it and it'll leave the stream, but you don't have to go to the description. Here it is right here. Want bold predictions, rankings, all that. Click that. There's a lifetime membership as well. And if you do the lifetime membership, email me after and might just give you a little Patreon surprise. Achane and Bijan. Pause on the Patreon surprise. What I mean by that? You're going to get a little Snapchat. You're going to get potentially access to the 24/7 Patreon for a few months at least. There'll be no Snapchat photo. That's only on the bigger package. Okay, BTJ and HN to your boy. Who's on the phone line again? David. And, David? Is it David? Is it David?
It's Eric, but
Eric.
David. We've had this conversation.
I still haven't.
Okay, man.
I still haven't entered your name in yet. I'm still calling you your pops. You're calling you Dave Jr.
How did you get Garrett Wilson in the 5th? And what kind of guys are you drafting with when he just went in the 2nd in our draft?
I don't know.
And you got him in the 5th in your other draft.
I don't know. My league mates. It's a group of.
Are you drafting with grandmas over there, or what?
They're worse than grandmas, bro. Some of them are good. Some of them.
Team 6.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. So it's a 10-man league, to be honest, but it's still crazy.
Yeah, things happen.
What, Travis?
Those things happen. That's normal for like home league.
Yeah.
Where like you have, you know, 10-team league, 3 or 4 of them are really casual players.
The lifetime member.
By the way, you took my 18 from me. I was going to draft him.
Well, that's because you say it wrong. It's
Surprisingly, Chase Brown and Bucky Irving now going at the beginning of the second when they were going at the beginning of the 2-3 turn.
Smitty, how do your boys not watch your show? You'll be surprised. You would be surprised. They might watch it in silence or whatever, but you'd be surprised at how your friends react to, like, let's say you're in a band. Your friends act like they don't know you're in a band, even if you were in a band. They're like, oh yeah, I forgot you're in that band thing. It's just like, it's weird. Some people will be supportive. These are not like my friends. They're like friends of friends. My 2 or 3 legit friends from this league that are left, and the rest are friends of friends of friends. They're never going to acknowledge things like, oh, you do this for a living. Because then they're like kind of saying like, you might know more than me. And they'll never ever say anything. Let's see. I'll go Breece Hall here. Is there risk to the situation? Sure, but there's still top 5 running back upside. But like, I could go into my group chat right now and they'd be like, oh yeah, you do that for a living. I forgot about that. It's like they almost don't want to watch, and they're not. Some of them aren't lying. Some of them really don't watch because it admits that you might know more than them, and they don't want to admit that. They don't want to feel that. They don't want to have any. And I'm not saying I know more than everybody. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that they don't want to feel that way. So a lot of people will pretend they don't know. They'll just be like, "Oh yeah, you still doing that thing?" Even when I run into one of them, like at a party or something, or like a Christmas party, I'll be like, "Hey," they're like, "Yeah, you should." So what are you doing these days? Like, bro, don't act like you don't know. Don't act like you don't know what I'm doing these days. What I'm doing these days is we're cooking. We're cooking. Hold on. Damn it. I don't know what to do here.
This is a really hard draft.
Rice is such a hard player to not draft right here, but he's also still a hard player to draft right here. You could say the same thing over and over. Okay, hold on one second. Let me go around the phone line. I think I got someone else here. They hung up. All right. Hey, David, I'm going to let you, or Eric, I'm going to let you go. Do you got anything else real quickly? You can call back if you got another question during the draft, but I'm going to start clearing the phone line out.
Yeah, I like your Rasheed Rice pick there. I kind of missed him a little bit, but you sniped me on 18.
You got Nico.
Draft that one, to be honest.
Nico, Chase Brown, Jalen Hurts, and Tyreek Hill. Okay.
Yeah, I got you Chase Brown with you. Yeah. All right, well, it's good talking to you.
Right.
If you do another one, maybe I'll call you at the end of the draft so we can sink in again.
All right, I'll try and remember to review your team at the end. All right, later, bro.
No, I'm talking about if you do another draft, I'll call you so when you do the countdown, I'm more on time with the countdown.
Right.
Like around 16 or 18, I'll call you.
I'm not sure if I'll do another one, but I'll let you know if I do. Okay, thanks, man. Look at these drivers. You what?
On the loop, I guess.
Oh yeah, to call in. Smitty, can I just come over and then that way when we're drafting, I could just hold your phone and my phone at the same time. Look at these receivers that went straight across. You guys tend to do this when we draft together. I don't understand how. Dude took Tyreek Hill and watches the show. Well, I mean, 4th round's more acceptable. You want to go. Tyreek Hill would never have fallen to the 4th round in our, outside of our community. He would never have fallen to the 4th round. There's no way. We had 19 in a row that one draft. Yeah, 19 receivers in a row. You guys are crazy. Now it's going to go 19 running backs in a row. And I'm not going to get any running backs. 19 running backs in a row, Smitty. Buckle up. McCaffrey, St. Brown, Kittle, Adams, and Metcalf. Well, I will go Travis Hunter here. So I will have Rice, Hunter, BT, Achane, Breece Hall. Not bad. Not exactly what I wanted, but I couldn't get what I wanted entirely in a draft with all of you sharp individuals. Choose one keeper. JT, Kyron, JSN, Tyreek, Hurts, MHJ, Kincaid, Benson, May, Braylon Allen, Keenan Allen, Otten. I'm thinking Kyron if he stays in the third round. What do you think? So you didn't really give me a description, like if he stays in the third round, what's that mean? Like, you based on ADP, probably you got to keep these guys based on their projected ADP is what I'm imagining. So if that's the case, then yeah, I guess, but it would depend on if there's movement there. But yeah, overall, Kyron's the by far and away best choice. Even if he climbed it 2, I'm still keeping him over JT in 2. But that's what I'm going to guess your keeper rules are. Smitty, you got to make an episode comparing underdog ADP with ESPN's. I can definitely look into that, John. I've been meaning to do that. I guess I'll go Sam Laporta here. Good value. I love when Laporta goes in 7, like top of 7. That's really good. If you got a top of 7 pick, like if you get like the 1.2, the 1.3, the 1.1, and then Laporta falls to your 7th round turn into round 7, it's great value. But this is like even a little earlier, but I still like it.
I missed the show yesterday, so I don't know. Have you announced anything about the Patreon League yet?
Not yet. Yeah, I'll probably do that this week. Yeah.
I get people asking about.
Yeah, I'll have we'll call it the Garrett Wilson Patreon League, or I think I'll keep it that. Then we're gonna have the Wild Wild West in-season Super Flex League. So it'll be a redraft Super Flex League. How do you get in that one? It will be super chats. The highest super chatter of the. I might do like another random thing here and there, contest maybe of sorts. I'm not sure, but that will be probably 12 people, so 11. And then 11 people to get in that. And then the Garrett Wilson draft that we're doing, that will relate to the Patreon. But stand down for how specifically Patreon members could get it. I'll have that information soon.
You have a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
In the picture. He's been could you trade Bucky in the 1.12, James Brown in the 1.05? And what it is, keeper league, 3 keepers, a bunch of good players are back in the pool in the draft.
So what could the 12 be, and what could the 1.5 be? Because
their contact, Chase Brown would have to be kept in the 7. Bucky is kept in the 12.
And then, all right. So what could, if there's veterans and good players in this rookie pool or veteran mix pool, what is the 1.12 looking like, and what's the 1.5 looking like player wise? If he could give us that, I can answer this. Until then, I can't really. So I'll just leave it there until he tells us. Give me 5 names for the 1.12. Give me 5 names for the 1.15.
I don't know if it's still in the chat or not.
Let's roll with. Just because I think you're going to snipe on this turn here, fellas. I'm going to grab him here. Is he in the chat? Hug going to Dallas or not? No. I mean, no. I mean, there's all kinds of rumors, but there's nothing. Like, I don't know what makes you think that that's like in motion to happen. It's not to mention, keep in mind that like they love Jaden Blue. Like Jaden Blue is looking good, but there's all kinds of rumors right now. Just like Tua Tagovailoa, what happens there? Could they go after Shedeur? Stafford. What if he can't play? Well, what if he can? Like, there's no news that Stafford's out for week 1. He threw on Saturday, 60 balls. He just hasn't practiced the last 2 days to rest from that probably. But let's say he went down, then Shedeur. Kirk Cousins could get traded to the Rams. All kinds of rumors. ETN, Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall, trade rumors. But no, Breece is not getting traded before the year begins. You gotta realize when people are trying to stir something up, it's nonsense, because he's not getting traded prior to the season. They're gonna run it for a while and see how it goes.
Do you make it help? I found that.
I was going to time out, and I just thought I don't have a single share of Hawkinson, so I just went, whatever. I don't know. Bully tight end. Yeah, bully tight end. I don't think I have a single share of Hawkinson until then.
Okay, so right now, finalized, but 1.12. Henry, 50, CMC, London.
And then the 1.5?
1.5, he says it's one of CD or he's waiting to hear Lamar will be after the QB.
So CD and I don't know that. I mean, I want CD if I was to do this but I would say CD and Chase Brown are Bucky and Genty, or London. Bucky and London. Let's say, keep it apples to apples. Bucky and London versus CD.
He has the 2.01, so he can take two of those.
Yeah. But just value-wise, Genty and Bucky, and he can keep Genty. Can he keep Genty the next year if he wants? I guess that answer is definitely. If so, then I probably rather have Bucky and Genty, and then you can take London with that other pick. And then I kind of like that a little bit better. I like CD. I like
5-round difference in keeper. Bucky, that's pretty big.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think that
3 years they can keep the players for.
Yeah, give me Bucky and Genty, and then take London in the second round or whatever. That would be my answer. I don't know if that's what he wanted to hear, because it sounds like he would have been trading for him. Let me just see real quickly. Hold on 1 second. So my team so far is Achan, BT, Breece Hall, Rice, Hunter, Laporta, Bo Nix, Hawkinson. And then I'm going to roll with Marvin Mims here per usual. He's got potential. Anybody doesn't know why we're saying that? Who was it that said that? The potential. Yeah, generation whatever he is. Generation slang lingo.
Oh.
I cannot stand potential. Someone says potential. You're going to get hung up on. I don't know what to do here now. We're talking about, who do I have? I've got Genty, BT, Hall, Rasheed Rice, Hunter. I'm like, my brain's fried too. I don't even know what I'm looking at. I don't know if you guys have drafted so much like I have before, where I literally don't even know what I'm looking at. I can't even make the pick. I'm just like staring at the bunch of names, and I'm like, I can't even process what's going on. I'm gonna go Bigsby. So I got Achan, Breece Hall, Bigsby, BT, Rasheed Rice, Travis Hunter, Marvin Mims, Laporta and Hawkinson, and Bo Nix. That's pretty solid. Do I like Tyler Warner? Yeah, of course I like Tyler Warner. Do I think he could be in a better spot? Yeah, but he will get manufactured touches and be force-fed, but he won't live near the end zone like we want him to either. This is kind of a catch-22. But yeah, I like him, bro. He's good.
Like Kincaid or Kraft this year. I mean, you have to go with Kraft. It's like a deep bench, and you can
Kraft for sure. Ow! Bang my knee. Oh, jeez. That freaking hurt. Kraft had 7 touchdowns last year. And I think it was like 700 yards too, right? It was 707, I think, which is like really impressive when you think about it. Like, not something you remember. You know, I kind of remember him just being hurt and not playing. So like, before I checked, I know that stat now, but like, I think in March or something, somebody asked a question about Kraft, and I, for some reason, didn't have, I have a lot of those things already in my head, but that one, I'm like, what was his line? Because he was always hurt, and I pulled it up. I'm like, 707? What in the hell's going on here? Someone messed up in the Truman Show control room. That's one of those moments where I'm like, this isn't right. This is all fake. Because I would have remembered that. Somebody tried to plant that one on me last second. Kraft. Damn, I hit my knee so hard on the table. I'm out.
That's right. Musgrave's got.
So I'm not on IR tonight. All right. Damn it, man. I need another quarterback, and I don't trust you guys, so I'm going to go on Penix Jr. now. I'm not going to wait until that turn. I believe you. See, yep, Stroud, you were going to take Penix Jr. I know you. Trying to snipe me, Eric, a.k.a. Steve. Super chat here from Joshua. Who is your expected breakouts? Who is your expected breakouts? I mean, how do I answer that question? I can show you the Moonman Mars. Someone already asked if they want to see the Moonman Marsman. I can show you that. But I mean, like, that's a 9-hour show. Keenan Allen, I guess. Let's do it live, Keenan Allen. All right, here's the Jupiter Men.
The Jupiter Men. Jupiter is so large. Every planet in the solar system.
The Saturn Men.
One small step for man, one giant leap for Saturn.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars men.
Oh, and good thing you asked. Because guess who's on the Moon Man
Loads
list?
dropping and spinning aimlessly in
Travis,
space.
can you guess who I put on the Moon Man list? That I haven't really pressed the button to show anybody, I guess.
My brain's fried right now.
The Moon Men.
Penix Jr.
Dropping loads in outer space.
You're like, damn it, that makes sense. It makes sense now. Yeah, I should have pressed that at the beginning of the show, but I'm also Sick Nasty. I owe. Oh wait, am I on the clock? No, I owe Sick Nasty. I'm gonna put him on this one.
Get buckied. 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 Oh, Bucky.
Yeah.
I'm surprised no one has requested the Genty video yet. I'm really shocked. And no one's requested the Chase Brown yet. Jay just upgraded his membership to priority comments. Jay, that's awesome. Thank you. Appreciate you. What happens is during the year when I can't answer a lot of the YouTube comments because there's so many, I will filter. It will, probably might miss one or two on the season, but I'll filter by those and answer in order of those first. So if anybody does want to do that, just upgrade your membership like Jay just did. Joshua, appreciate that $2 holler. Whatever you were gonna say, make sure you type it in again. And thank you, Sick Nasty. You're now Travis. What video do you want? I'm giving my mods a video. They deserve one.
I'm on BTJ one already.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Mama.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. And I'm also, I already said I'm going to put you on the house called Hendy. So we'll have a house called Hendy video. I don't know if it'll be a song. I think I have a couple ideas. So.
Josh with the best type of super chat.
Yeah, Josh. Say less, Josh. Say less, my boy. He's dropping the $1.99. That's it. No question. That's the easiest type of super chat I can think of. Say less, my boy.
What round are you at? 14? Okay.
Oh, who's on the phone? Oh, it's just you. I thought someone else was on the phone. They're not. I don't think. Is someone else on the phone?
Oh.
Hello?
Okay.
Hello? My team, I got 14 seconds left. Pat Bryant, Marvin Mims together. Pat Bryant, there was a footage of Pat Bryant that looked great today. Let me see if I can find that.
Yeah. I was reading. Looks very possible. He's third wide receiver.
Yeah, so Mims and Bryant together is pretty solid best ball move right now with Knicks. Here's the video of Pat Bryant. This one's okay. Anybody can do what he's doing right here, but he does look quick. His stutter stop is what I really liked here. He just looks really fluid. Let me just show you. It's easy to be like, oh, that looks great on that player, and then you see somebody else, like someone sends you footage of JD5 thrown into a net, and then you see, Caleb do it, and you're like, oh, that's nothing. Like I get the hypocrisy of that.
All with context.
But the way I like to look at it is I'm looking for validation of what I already think. And so even though it might seem biased, it still to me is not something that I feel like is actually wrong though. All right, so just watching how speedy he looks. So this is him running. That stutter step is nasty, and I just like how fluid and strong he looks. Like that is a fluid looking run right there. Like that's quick. Look how quick his knees are moving. Watch just his knees. Like that is good footwork. That's good acceleration, good route running, and he's supposed to be, according to a lot of people, maybe the Mike Thomas of the team eventually, if all goes well. And he likes Marvin Mims a lot, Sean Payton, but he's kind of hoping that he picked his own MT, Mike Thomas from the draft. All right, we'll see you later.
Thanks too.
Mm-hmm. But it does kind of suck.
Oh, go ahead.
When Sutton gets a new contract, and you're like, it just kind of like is a gut punch to the expectation of Pat Bryant, but you can't let it affect you because, he very well could take over and be the number one still just because Sutton got a deal. Sutton's a very underrated player, but there's a reason he's underrated. He's kind of, good. He's older, number one. So Pat Bryant doesn't need to, Pat Bryant can be an elite player. And hold on a second. Yeah, about that. Pat Bryant can be an elite player. And Sutton being 30, roughly 30. Ziggy, how old is Cortland Sutton?
Cortland Sutton is 29 years old. October 10th, 1990.
So he turns 30 during the year. So he turns 30 in October, not long from now. A couple months, he turns 30. So honestly, like Pat Bryant, if he takes 2.5 years to develop fully, Sutton's like maybe on his last, 6 games before he falls off. So it should not deter you away, Pat Bryant, or from Mims in a way, from saying, oh, well, Sutton's the guy. He got paid, so now I can't. It just dampens the mood a little bit, but it shouldn't in Dynasty. And honestly, it shouldn't in redraft. Like, at 30 years old during the season, he could drop off. Like, Cooper Kupp fell off in the middle of the season, of his 38 season. During his 30-year-old season, Cooper Kupp dropped off. Like, it's not crazy to think it could happen and Pat Bryant or Mims become the by far and away number one wide receiver, even though Sutton does deserve and demand some respect.
Jeff John says, wish they would just unleash Mims. He's got speed, and we're going to see that.
We are going to. He got unleashed, bro. That's the thing is Mims was a top 10-ish wide receiver last year down the stretch. They unleashed him. He was fully unlocked. And he only did so like in the last 6 games. We broke this down like 4 nights in a row. The last 6 games, Marvin Mims was a top 10 to 12 wide receiver. And if you extrapolate his 6 games across a season, this is a top 10 to 12 wide receiver. So Marvin Mims has already been unlocked, and they've already said we're going to move him all around the field. Here's my team real quickly just to show you guys. Let me pull this down. I am in the draft slot. Am I again? HNBT. I'm in the 1.9. HNBT, Hall, Rashee Rice, Travis Hunter, Laporta, Bo Nix, Hawkinson, Marvin Mims, Tank Bigsby, Penix Jr., Keenan Allen, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, Pat Bryant, Zach Ertz, Isaac Tesla, who I took a little bit early just because I didn't think you guys would leave him. I really like this wide receiver room, to be honest. It's pretty solid. I mean, I got BT, Rashee Rice, Travis Hunter, Marvin Mims, Pat Bryant, Keenan Allen, and Isaac Tesla. I think that's a really good wide receiver room. My running back room is pretty damn solid. Achane, Breece Hall, Tank Bigsby, Ja'Cory Krosky, Merritt, a.k.a. Bill. I got Bo Nix and Penix Jr., and I got Laporta, Hawkinson, and Zach Ertz. Pretty solid. Yep. Well, coach could get fired first. Miami, Mike McDaniel, I think. Ben Johnson? No, I'm just kidding. Ben's got more time than a year. But 3 years, if he didn't, let's say he didn't fix it, I mean, anything's possible, man. Ben Johnson, just because Ben Johnson is an amazing architect of an offense does not mean he'll be a good head coach. He might not be a good head coach. He probably will be, but he'd have to, hang out long enough for us to find that out. I'm going to go Brashard Smith here. That gives me Achane, Breece Hall, Tank Bigsby, JCM, and Brashard Smith, which is kind of a shaky room in a way because I got Achane at Hall, but Tank, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, and Brashard Smith are not necessarily guarantees. So it is possible. If I look at my QB room, I got Nix and Penix Jr., both different bye weeks. I've got it loaded everywhere else. I could definitely go with another RB, and that would be smart. I think it would be smart. I could go. I have Achane, so I could go Ollie Gordon. Yeah, I think I'll do that. That seems smart. And you want to snipe me over it, bro? Go ahead. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Jesus.
Wow.
That was our phone caller, by the way. Steve, a.k.a. David. Way to go, David.
Correct, David.
Now, in his defense, he has Jalen Wright already, but it's still taking both of them. Jeez. All right. I'm out of here. I could look at these teams real quickly. I'll look at everybody but David's. We got Ray G in the 2 spot. Chase, Garrett Wilson, Hampton, George Pickens, Harvey, and Mahomes, Judy, love the team. Very, very Smitty approved. Lamb, McBride, JSN, DJ Moore. Yeah. I don't know. Gibbs, AJ Brown, Lab McConkey, McMillan, Walker. TM42's got Barkley, Jacobs. I'm not a fan of Jacobson 2 at all, unfortunately. You know that, but so you're not going to get a great score from me, but you do you if you like him. Josh Allen, Evans, Ridley, a lot of other good values, I suppose, on this team, though. J.J. Bowers, Lamar, Higgins, and Williams, and Pollard. Genty, Henry, Kyron, Worthy, Sutton, Flowers, Myers. I like the way that started, but then it just, I think you doing that in this community, you would have figured out how to steal away Debo and Igbuka, and you got Worthy, or you would have got Rice and Worthy somehow with, Debo and Igbuka, and you would have had a winning, like a league potential winning team. But in this environment, everybody gets pulled up higher, and there's no fat anywhere in between picks, so you just got kind of, I don't want to say screwed, because it's a good wide receiver room considering, but I don't think this can win the tournament. McCaffrey, St. Brown, Kittle, So try that move again without our community being involved and see if you can do it, is what I'm trying to say. McCaffrey, St. Brown, Kittle, Adams, Metcalf, Monty. That's pretty solid if all goes well. Mine's Achan, BT, Hall, Rice, Hunter, Laporta, Bo Nix, Hawkinson, Mims, Bigsby, Penix. A lot of stuff has to happen. I'm not delusional to think that feels like the winner without some crazy things unfolding, which could, but Nico, Chase Brown, Hurts, Tyreek, Waddle, Swift, Mixon, Downs, and Njoku. Neighbors, Puka, Daniels, Hubbard, Connor, Egbuka. And then the last slot would be London, Bucky, Hendy, Burrow, Smith, Debo, Reed, Kelsey. I like that team. That team's good. I think your team's top 5 or 6 for sure. All right, I'm probably out of here. Rock out. What you got? What do you got, real quick?
You hear the comments of Des Prescott? He says to meet the Rams at the Super Bowl. At the NFC Championship game.
Rams, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I saw something on that. Yeah. Well, he might see. Look, it's possible, and then and Milton commands it. Hey, Dak, get my water bottle. Thanks. Yeah, go ahead, Susie. He's doing an interview. Hey, Dak, bring me a hand towel. What else you got, Rock out?
Oh, good. They check out my team, but you already did.
Yeah. How do you feel about it?
Came a little weird because the first 2 picks I didn't even pick because my app was for whatever reason.
So you got JD5, Chuba, Connor. Yeah, I'm that running. If you would have got Chuba, ETN, Tootin, Bigsby, or something like that, I think I would have been like, that's crafty, But Connor, Mason, ETN, Blue, I like it, but it's not I can't see it winning. You drafted a lot of great teams though, so this isn't offensive. Neighbors, Nakua, Egbuka. Yeah, you drafted better than that. I like Ray G's team. I like my team. I like Saul's team at 12. Those are probably my favorite 3. Anything else, Rock out?
No, I'll catch you tomorrow.
All right, my boy. We'll see you later. Travis, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, someone else did that too. Reebok Jovo. Hello, Mullins, the guy on now that Spears is hurt, he is someone to keep an eye on because there's 33. He might have fallen because of character concerns. I'm not 100% sure. He's not super fast. A big body guy. He's having a good team. I'm going to watch.
Yeah. All right.
Thoughts
on which one specifically? Which the Titans player? Or which one?
On the Titans. Hello, Mullins.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, definitely you always got to watch like Marks, like anybody that has potentially a start in their future. You never know where a Kyron is hiding. You always got to keep an open mind and just go watch him run a little bit. And to be honest, I haven't watched a ton of them, but I think because Spears is not the year or anything, I'm not really digging too much into it. And Spears will be back relatively soon, and then Pollard's there. I probably just feel like I'll look into him and tell you if I feel anything different about him after watching more film. I haven't really reminded myself about how he looks, but Marks is different because he's got 2 very old injury-prone running backs in front of him. So Woody Marks is probably going to start games. He's going to start games whether people like it or not. Woody's a great prospect. This one here, I had to snipe Ollie. Yeah, Eric, we saw top 20. Anyone Thanks for the super chat. Top 20, anyone you personally would pass every time inside the top 20? CMC. CMC, Jacobs, if he goes in that territory, definitely. And then I would probably say CMC, Jacobs, and those are probably the two main ones when I see them sitting in that top 20, top 25. I'm not taking either one of them. Not in maybe in a best ball where it's $5, but not in a home league, and that's kind of the test of whether I don't like the player or not at the value. So
the top 20.
Yeah, but I'd be more willing to do that than the other two. But Lad I believe, is outside the top 25. And I think he's good there. Just like JSN is better serving you in the 30 range. 20, at least 28, 29, 30. But 30 range, you probably want Lad at 25 overall at the very earliest. But I mean, I still think he's better. The later you get him, the more safe he is. Thank you, Josh, for dropping these wattages right here on screen, my boy. And I think I answered all your questions. Thank you, Josh. All right, Travis. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Later. All right, I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you get on over to thefantasyfootballshow.com. Again, this is my rankings, bowl predictions, trade calculators, 365, 24/7 content. If you want the written content, you go here. And if you want the Patreon, where I'm going to go over right now and say, I'm going to type this 1 second. Let me drop the Patreon link. $10 a month canceling time. Just try it 1 month. You don't like it, you still get it for the whole month, and you can ask trade questions during August to people and get instant replies from people. I mean, what's better than that? Nothing, in my opinion. I'm going to go in there right now into the general chat. There's 4 chat groups: Rookies, Dynasty, Game Day Lounge, where we all pile in during any game, especially Sundays, all day long. We're in there just talking all day long. Any late night topics, post graveyard ? So I'm in there talking live. I will see you all later. Appreciate you. Don't forget, I'm live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. I'm also additionally live whenever big news breaks, and I'm also additionally live at midnight Eastern every single night almost. Tomorrow night I might not be. I usually take Wednesday graveyard shows off, but that's only the midnight show. I'm here Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm here whenever big news breaks. See you all tomorrow.